All right, I think we can get started. My name is Robert Haran. Today we're here to talk about Atlassian Team 26 to go over what was the major themes of the conference and give you a little bit more information. So it's not going to be a feature by feature conference recap, but it's going to go over the major themes. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So, as I said, my name is Robert Haran. I'm a solutions engineer here at Valiantys. I'm here to help with cloud migrations, consolidations, really anything cloud related to help you live your best life in the Atlassian cloud. And joining me is Ariel De Silva. So, Ariel, please introduce yourself.
Thanks, Robert. Hi, everyone. I'm Ariel. I'm a delivery manager here for Valiantys and mainly focused on Atlassian cloud migrations and transformation projects. My team has been doing them for the past 5 years, so uh, pretty happy with what the cloud's going to look like now.
Yeah, especially after this conference is going to be fantastic. All right, just to give you a little bit of info about who we are, Valiantis is Atlassian's #1 global partner. We're backed by enterprise specializations in cloud migrations, enterprise strategy and planning, service management, and software development. And we provide strategic consulting and technology services that really drive enterprise transformations with Atlassian expertise and a technology agnostic approach. So, the benefits of working with us are you accelerate your time to value with automations, AI, and agile delivery. And we bring experts in digital transformation, ESM, and cloud modernization. This will allow you to have unified rather than fragmented systems. And just we help build streamlined digital platforms. And we are a trusted partner for compliant solutions, including FedRAMP. Our clients come to us facing enormous complexity, fragmentation, and overall pressure to deliver results fast. And we help cut through all of that noise, transforming siloed operations into really connected, scalable ecosystems. Our four core solutions are really designed to tackle all these enterprise challenges, accelerating transformations, unifying workflows, and enabling smarter AI-powered decision making. And one of the things that's come out recently from Harvard Business Review is that they found that AI-enhanced workflow systems can increase productivity by easily 15 to 20%, freeing up employees, developers, pretty much you name it, freeing up everyone to focus on creative and strategic tasks. And that's a major theme that's going to be that we're going to speak about. And these are areas that we can help you grow in as well. I just want to give you a high level view of what we can offer. And again, not to deep dive individually, but what I want to convey here is one, organizations often start with a specific initiative, like a cloud migration or a cloud transformation, maybe a service management improvement, or even an AI enablement effort. But again, these initiatives quickly connect to larger operational, organizational, and strategic considerations. And at the center of all of this is transformation and business strategy consulting. Because honestly, technology decisions are rarely isolated. They impact governance, collaboration models, delivery processes, user adoption, and just overall long-term scalability across the organization. So if you need help in any or all of these areas, by all means, please reach out to us. We would love to speak with you. Now, just to go over what we're going to talk about today, we're not going to cover every single product announcement or every keynote point. We're going to focus on the larger themes that consistently emerge throughout the conference. And what stood out the most at Team 26 wasn't simply product announcements, it was a realization that Atlassian is actively redefining how organizations coordinate work in an AI native world. The major story wasn't, oh, hey, Jira's got new features. The major story was enterprise work itself is changing. And so one of the things that Atlassian made very clear is that they're no longer experimenting cautiously around AI. They're fully invested. The scale numbers shared at the conference were enormous. And according to Atlassian, Rovo is already used by over 75% of Fortune 500 companies. There were over 14 million Rovo assisted actions in the last month, and agentic automations reportedly grew sevenfold in only the last 6 months. The teamwork graph itself now processes 12 billion changes a day with more than 150 billion relationships tracked across work, people, systems, and knowledge.
So for takeaways, I'd say that one of the clearest, biggest signals we got from 2026 was that Atlassian is evolving beyond being viewed as a collection of collaboration tools. So before we had Jira managing work, Confluence managing documentation, GSM did the service operations, but Atlassian now appears to be positioning the platform as something much larger. So an AI-enabled system for organizational coordination. Uh, that distinction matters because once AI enters the equation, the most valuable thing is no longer the individual tool itself. The value becomes the connected context, the shared knowledge, the organizational memory, relationships between the work, and the ability for AI systems to understand all of it together. That is why I see 2026 being so heavily focused on uh, the things that it did. So it's Rovo, connect systems, organizational knowledge, and especially the AI assisted workflows.
Mhm. And that's one of the biggest pieces also because it's not just about what AI provides. Because AI can create content just, as the slide says, it can create output, but it's not necessarily going to be creating understanding. And that was one of the biggest themes that was discussed during Team 26. The idea of work slop. The concern is this, AI can dramatically increases the speed at which your organization can create documents, summaries, tickets, maybe plans, reports, proposals, recommendations, or decisions. But faster doesn't necessarily mean better. Doesn't mean that AI is automatically going to create better outcomes. A number of speakers emphasize the fact that AI lacks, on its own, AI lacks deep domain expertise, contextual judgment, that organizational nuance, and an understanding of the jagged edges of complex environments. And that means that organizations really risk creating just enormous amounts of low quality, low value content or duplicated work. Um, they're at risk for AI creating poor or making poor recommendations or accelerating bad decisions. And so the takeaway was it was really nuanced. The AI is incredibly powerful, but it it doesn't work in isolation. The human expertise becomes more important with AI, not less.
Yeah, we can say that there was a philosophical theme at Teams 26, which was that the future of work is not about replacing humans. Instead, Atlassian's repeatedly framed AI's it is augmentation. The expectation is that AI increasingly handles repetitive coordination, information retrieval, summarization of work, workflow executions, which means that there's more time for human workers to focus on things that move the process along, judgment, prioritization, ambiguity, uh, trade-offs, strategic thinking. This is actually a very important shift, I'd say,
Hmm.
because organizations that succeed with AI will not simply be the organizations with the most AI tools and usage. It will be the organizations that preserve the expertise of the people, the structure knowledge effectively, the connected information intelligently, and maintain strong governance and decision making.
Yeah, one of the things I remember from one of the sessions, and I don't remember who the speaker was, but one of the sessions that stuck out for me the most was there was somebody talking about how much experienced workers matter to an organization because it's not enough to just work with an AI and just regurgitate whatever the AI gives back. That nuance, that expertise, that understanding of how everything fits in to your organization or how you got to the point that you are really, really matters because sometimes the output of AI is not going to be exactly where you need it to be. Or sometimes it just doesn't have enough information to make the right, to generate the right content. And so that expertise is extremely important for, just as it says on the slide, for judgment,
Mhm.
prioritization, building strategy.
Yeah, there's a usage cost behind it because the everyone that ever used these AI tools for coding, they know that there's a lot of back and forth between you and the tool,
Hmm.
and the more you know, the better you ask for stuff, and less tokens, less time, etc.
And that's true. In the end, they're still automated system. I don't want to say
Yeah,
just automated system, but
mm,
like a computer, it's going to give you what you ask for. And if you don't
yeah,
ask for the right thing, you're not going to get the best
exactly.
output. Um, but along those lines, Rovo and the teamwork graph were two areas of huge attention at Team 26. Um, and one of the things that's really important to understand is Rovo is not just AI search. And though those terms are definitely not interchangeable. The real value proposition was organizational intelligence. And just like we were saying before, the real goal for AI is to have it understand all of your context, your projects, your tickets, all of your inputs, your documentation, your conversations, um, understand ownership, dependencies, and relationships between pieces of data and relationships between systems. So it's not just about the AI, it's about that context. And so that's where Atlassian's teamwork graph is going to be absolutely critical, because the teamwork graph is your connective tissue. It's acting as that connective intelligence layer, linking together work, people, systems, meetings, goals, and all of your organizational knowledge. And this is really what's differentiating Atlassian's strategy from all sorts of, I don't want to say generic, but other AI tools. Um, the competitive advantage is really becoming, and much more increasingly, not just AI models or the AI tool, but the organizational context surrounding all of this.
Yeah, and I think we can say there was a strategic strategic push emerging on Team 26 from the Atlassian side, which was that the next competitive advantage in AI is probably not the models themselves. Uh, Models are a commodity. They come and go. They increase in capacity
Hmm.
every week. So the organizations have access to all of them. Some, but most, like the ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude, Gemini, uh, many other enterprise tools. Uh, those tools are no longer the differentiator. Uh, it that becomes the organizational context, connected systems, workflow relationships, the operational intelligence, the people themselves. So this is why I believe Atlassian is investing so heavily in Teamwork Graph and Rovo and connected systems and the idea of shared organizational knowledge. They appear to believe that the AI becomes dramatically more useful when it understands how the work actually happens, who owns what systems are connected, what are the relationships that exist across the whole enterprise.
Oh yeah. And everything you said, right, about organizations having access to all of these tools. Having the access to those tools is great, but I feel like it's like if you said, you know what, I own everything inside of Home Depot, but how come I can't build a house? That knowledge, the ability to put it all together and create something is more than just the sum of the parts. It's really understanding how it all comes together. And that's what Atlassian's building out. And so, another big theme was how Atlassian is moving from AI assistance to true agentic work. And this may have been the single biggest product and strategy shift that was revealed throughout the conference. Because it strongly suggested that there was a movement towards agentic work. And what does that mean? It means that AI systems are increasingly participating directly in workflows themselves, not just answering questions, but coordinating actions, executing tasks, orchestrating workflows, and really handling multi-step operations. And so Atlassian announced a couple of things. They announced agents in Jira, Max in Rovo Chat, and Rovo Studio. Um, and again, one especially, and I think it was more of a symbolic announcement, but one especially symbolic announcement was agents in Jira, because agents are now being positioned as first-class teammates. What does that mean? It really means that agents can be assigned work. They can participate in workflows. They can be mentioned in comments, trigger workflow stages and transitions, and operate with auditability. It's just like having another teammate on
Mhm.
your another teammate on your team, another colleague. And it's just important to understand that this is a fundamental shift. It's fundamentally different from traditional automation, which was just operated on kind of an if this then that model. Now, this doesn't take away from all of the automation rules that you have. Um, it certainly doesn't devalue any of that because those tools are incredibly important. But this is a very different model, and it's a very different shift from how Atlassian was traditionally working.
Yeah. Uh, this one's fun. One of the questions I got asked a lot after Teams was, what exactly is that DIA thing?
Oh yeah, I've been getting that a lot as well.
Yeah. Uh, I'd say that at its core, it's an AI native browser experience. But there's a big distinction because it's not simply like a Chrome with AI or a Chrome-based browser with AI. So the vision's much broader than that. Traditional browsers are passive during your daily
Hmm.
work. They display like websites and applications, and DIA is designed to actively assist the users while they work. So that includes uh, gathering information for you, synthesizing the context of stuff, navigating your work easily, helping you coordinate your tasks, interact with the organizational knowledge more efficiently and intelligently. They demonstrated how DIA can work alongside the systems like Jira, Confluence, Slack, calendars, Teamwork Graph for sure. The key idea is that the the AI should not require users all the time in there. Uh, it should open the separate tools, search manually, pitch, switch tabs, piece together fragmented context, and instead the browser itself becomes more aware of what you're working on, what systems are connected, what information may be relevant. Strategically, this is important because it suggests Atlassian's thinking beyond individual applications. They are uh, they, they are moving toward a future where AI exists as part of the operational environment and surround the works the work itself. The is one step in that direction. It's enterprise ready, so it has all the security part of it. So SOC 2 support, SSO, MDM capabilities, which is important because Atlassian clearly intends this to be more than an experimental experience for consumers. It's it's a very different vision than simply adding a chatbot to existing software.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, adopting Dia was super easy.
Mm.
Because right after the conference, I was like, "Ooh, I've got to try this." So I installed it. Immediately, it offered to import all of my bookmarks, my preferences, everything from Chrome right in, and it was seamless. And this isn't, I don't want to say an extension, but this is the ongoing effort from what we've seen in the Atlassian cloud so far. If you look at data center, all the tools kind of feel like they're individual tools. You know you're working in Jira or you know you're working in Confluence. And when you get to the cloud, everything is so seamless. Like
Mhm.
at times you might think, using smart linking or some of the other integrations, am I really working in Jira or am I working in Confluence or vice versa? It's just a natural um ecosystem. And so with this, we're going beyond just feeling seamless within the Atlassian ecosystem. Now everything you're working on will start to feel seamless as you move forward. It's just going to become great, and it's going to be so much easier to work when you're not thinking about, oh, well, now I got to switch to this, or I got to do this, or I've got to copy and paste information over. Um, Information is just going to flow, and with that flow, you're just going to have to stop think. You'll think less about the little stuff and just stay focused on what really matters. And that's a big part of what Atlassian is trying to do overall. Because they really do want to power AI beyond just their tools. Um, this is really strategically significant for Atlassian because the vision that they have now is no longer limited to AI in Jira, AI in Confluence. Atlassian is really seemingly positioning the teamwork graph as a broader and more all-encompassing organizational context layer that external AI systems and agents can potentially interact with. And so this includes MCP compatible agents. Um, if you're unfamiliar with the term, by the way, MCP enables AI systems to securely share context and interact across platforms. So, yeah, this will include MCP compatible agents, coding assistants, co-pilots, and external AI systems. And the thing about this is that strategically, this is going to position Atlassian less as a software vendor and more as the organizational intelligence layer for enterprise work. And we've been seeing this across all of our cloud transformation engagements and just our migrations. We're seeing this more and more, going beyond just lift and shift, going beyond just doing things and maintaining the status quo, but really embracing the future. And I don't know, Ariel, if you've been seeing this in your engagements as well.
Yeah, yeah. We are as time goes by, we can turn way more complex workflows on the data center side in things that are pretty simple and like halfway done by Rovo when they reach the 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 cloud side. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that ties into this slide as well, right?
Yeah. So all of this AI capabilities, they depend in one critical thing, which is the quality of the organizational context behind them. AI amplifies strength, but it also amplifies weakness. And that means that the connected systems, the trusted knowledge, the governance, it becomes foundational and fundamental to uh, both the effectiveness that the AI implementation is going to have on your enterprise, but also on the day-to-day work for your uh, employees and users. The the more background and knowledge and foundation the AI implementation has, the easier it is to be adapted by the users and the daily works.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that one of the phrases I hear a lot, not just about AI, just in general. And I know it sounds funny, but um I'm sure everybody's heard the term garbage in, garbage out.
Mhm.
Um and it's just something that's incredibly important here because one of the most important practical lessons from Team 26 was that poor organizational content will create poor AI outcomes. I mean, these systems are deeply reliant on the information that you feed it. So all the information, your trusted information, your workflows, your governance structures, um, that organizational understanding is the foundation of what it's taking in. And so that means that fragmented environments or organizations that just don't have the right inputs, that creates real risk. So anyone who has a disconnected systems or siloed knowledge, inconsistent workflows or documentation or poor documentation, unclear ownership, any of these areas where you're lacking, um, this is where AI might struggle to provide good, trustable, generated recommendations. Uh, Bottom line is the quality of what you're providing really, really matters. Because again, we will say it probably 1,000 times. AI is going to amplify both your strengths and your weaknesses. And so a well-structured organization is going to benefit enormously from these tools. But poorly connected organizations really risk scaling confusion faster. And this is going to be a common theme, not just here, not just today. Um, these are things that we talk about all the time when we do assessments, when we get when we're just providing consultation. This is why governance, workflow standardization, making sure systems are connected properly, and just the quality of knowledge. These things are going to become foundational in an AI native operating model.
Yeah, systems of work. We have been hearing this for years now, and Team 26 showed that the concept is evolving significantly. The original idea was more tool focused, so aligning teams, connecting goals, improving visibility, reducing silos. But now, system of work appears to be evolving into something AI native, meaning AI is becoming an active participant in the organization coordination, per se. That changes the nature of work dramatically. The conversation is no longer how do humans collaborate using software, using the tools. It's increasingly is going to be more how do humans and AI systems collaborate together for the enterprise.
Yeah, I think that it's an enormous shift from just how we're going to start working with the tools. We have to start thinking about AI and agents as I don't want to say as people exactly, but we're going to have to start interacting kind of like they're people.
Yeah.
These are tools that we're going to um, start using natural language with, where we will be interacting. It'll be more than just sending orders, but a give and take, conversations, full, true collaboration, really, as we move forward. And in some ways, that's one of the biggest challenges I think that people feel, because a lot of times it feels like, you know, technology is moving fast. Um, you know, it's moving faster than a lot of organizations. Many enterprise structures were built for slower communication or may say manual coordination, hierarchical decision making, or you know, human only execution, bottom line. And in a lot of ways, AI is super disruptive. It's changing and challenging these assumptions dramatically. And so it's forcing organizations right now to start thinking about things and rethinking governance, oversight, trust, escalations, ownership, and decision authority in a myriad of ways. And this is where organizations may struggle, not because the technology is failing, but because um, the operating model isn't prepared for it. They haven't started thinking about this yet, and or they haven't started planning for it. And it's, I don't want to say catching people by surprise, but I think the speed. of this transformation really is catching a lot of people by surprise. In a lot of ways, in good ways, because they're seeing all sorts of new opportunities, but not everyone knows how to capitalize on these opportunities right away, and they're just coming so fast that for a lot of folks, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, one of the strongest uh, external analysis, let's say, around the around Team 26 was the focus on the idea of moving from AI novice into AI native, which is an important distinction because many organizations today are experiencing with AI tools, but very few are truly AI native, uh, which would be not simply using AI, it is redesigning itself around AI. So AI assisted coordination, AI supported workflows, connected organizational intelligence, which is a much bigger transformation than just adopting a new feature. We're moving from an era of I heard Mark Andreessen saying once, enterprises were becoming 7 bullet point AI, which was the slides were already finished with 6 points, and then AI came in and they had to add AI at the bottom. So now AI is coming up and it's going to be part of our daily structures, and Atlassian is just putting that in the front seat. So
Yeah, and it's coming. And
yeah.
you know, again, a lot of folks are feeling a little unprepared and they may not know what they should be asking. And, you know, this is where I think this slide is incredibly helpful. Um, because one of the biggest outcomes wasn't just, hey, what features should we turn on? What do we need to enable next? But, how ready are we for AI assisted work? What sort of questions should we be asking? Like, um, how do we even know that we're going to be prepared? These questions are fantastic. Is our knowledge connected? Can AI trust our data? Do we have the governance? Do we have, who's owning this oversight? Are our systems integrated? Are our workflows standardized? I mean, we don't have to go through all of these. But the idea is that because AI maturity is increasingly tied to governance maturity, process knowledge, or integration maturity, organizations really should be evaluating how fragmented their systems are, how trustworthy their documentation is, how connected their workflows are. And, most importantly, because I think that people forget about this, where human oversight is really, really going to remain essential. Again, that context matters, that experience matters, that history, that deep, rich history with the organization and those relationships, those human relationships really, really remain essential to adopting these systems organically and successfully.
Uh, what does that mean for the customers? So, especially, uh, I'd say team brought uh, several future directions for where this is all going on Atlassian's eye. So, we should expect emphasis on connected ecosystems, unified organizational knowledge, governance, AI-aware workflows, cross-platform intelligence. But there's in all of this will increase the importance of the platform strategy, integration planning, governance models, consolidation efforts, and organizations will with organizations with fragmented Atlassian environments. They may increasingly struggle to realize the full value of all the AI-enabled workflow thingies. But the, the more connected everything is, the, the the better everything becomes with the new AI vision that Atlassian is bringing up.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, we've been doing these Ask the Expert sessions for a while, and then we have many, many webinars, and I feel like one of the most common themes, forget about the technology, forget about anything else. one of the themes is governance really matters.
Mhm.
Governance, and I know that probably sounds obvious, but um, having a properly governed organization really matters just to be able to have everything operating smoothly. And this is going to be incredibly important for AI adoption and just not even just AI adoption, just adopting not even these tools, but anything, just w moving forward in a more um, collaborative way, making sure everybody is on the same page and walking in the same direction. Um, this is just going to be incredibly important. And that was one of the most strong undercurrents throughout all of this. You know, governance was a major theme of the conference, and Atlassian repeatedly emphasized AI trust and control, guard integration, auditability, governance visibility. It was incredibly important, critically important, because enterprises aren't going to adopt agentic AI without, at least, major enterprises aren't going to adopt it at scale without oversight, approval boundaries, visibility, and accountability. And Atlassian's ready for that. Atlassian understands and is very aware that governed AI adoption is likely going to determine enterprise trust moving forward. And these are conversations we have with regulated industries, financial industries, um, every day. Um, this is in, I can't overstate how important this oversight, this accountability, this governance visibility is. It's just and it's foundational to the adoption of these tools.
Yeah, we've been pushing this topic, but I think it's because it was one of the strongest messages implied through the whole week of Team 26. Uh, AI is an amplifier, which is by itself exciting, but amplification works both ways.
Mm,
Uh, if you have strong governance, connected knowledge, mature workflows, operational discipline, this will be a tremendous benefit. But if you have fragmented systems, inconsistent processes, poor documentation, unclear ownership, uh, it will just accelerate the dysfunction of everything way faster. This is why the concept of work slop matters so much. So AI can generate the enormous amount of output, summaries, documents, tasks, recommendations, decisions. But the underlying system and the process, uh, like if the underlying system and the process is weak, the organization risks creating more noise instead of clarifying the daily day-to-day work. So I'd say that another risk would be to over-trust AI. Uh, as recommendations become more sophisticated, there's a temptation to assume the outputs are inherently correct, but AI still lacks the contextual judgment the organization wants, the true accountability. And we have to remember that these tools are always trying to save work on their side. So we need to have that on our mind when we're using that kind of stuff. That means that the enterprise must regain the thoughtful and uh, remain thoughtful that the governance oversight, approval boundaries, human decision authority, that's the most important thing. Uh, the organization that succeeds will likely be the one that treats AI as the force multiplier for good in the operational maturity, not the one that uses the shortcuts and the ways around it. So,
yeah. And so you might be thinking, okay, well, what can we do? Um, well, here you go. Here's some starting points, some recommended actions. And I would say this is more than just for adopting AI. These are just things that are good to start thinking about right now. Because if these trends continue, and really, I mean, all signs are pointing to the fact that they will, um, the question really becomes, what should we actually do now to start preparing for the future? And I'd say the first recommendation is really start thinking about your knowledge, evaluate your knowledge fragmentation. And this is just a good practice, not just for AI, just in general. But AI systems in particular are going to depend heavily on trusted, connected content. So we would recommend that organizations and enterprises assess, where their information lives, how disconnected these systems are, and whether or not their documentation is reliable, up to date, usable, and discoverable. The other thing is that governance, and you've heard me say it many times now, governance is just becoming more and more important. Organizations really need to have clarity around AI oversight, approval boundaries, accountability, and escalation paths. Um, Another piece to keep in mind is that workflow standardization is incredibly valuable, and that's just going to become more valuable as you move forward. And I know that ties directly into governance, but I want to focus on that in particular. AI models perform much better in environments where processes are consistent, terminology is aligned, workflows are understandable. And lastly, or I don't want to say lastly, but um, really another major area is connectivity, system connectivity, because disconnected ecosystems dramatically reduce AI effectiveness. Um, and this really increases the importance of integration strategies, consolidation efforts, and shared organizational content. Um, Organizations should really start thinking about this as a cultural shift and start preparing their teams for this cultural shift. Transition to AI assisted work isn't just technical, it's foundational, it's operational, it's behavioral. Teams are really going to start having to get up to speed. They're going to have to, your colleagues are. It behooves them to start learning a bit more how to collaborate with AI systems, how to build prompts, um, just learning how the models work, how to validate recommendations, how to maintain oversight, and focus on higher value judgment work. Um, Honestly, the organizations that start to prepare early and start following these steps and doing what they can, these are the teams that are really going to be more likely to adapt to the coming environments and the coming just the disruptive elements and honestly the AI revolution much more successfully over the next coming years.
Okay, so we're coming to the the last part of this. So summarizing Team 26 in a few sentences, I would say this. Atlassian is no longer simply building collaboration tools. That's it. Atlassian's building towards a future where organizational knowledge, AI, workflows, agents, and especially human expertise operate together as a connected system. And increasingly, uh, Teamwork Graph appears to be the connective intelligence layer, making that whole thing possible. This is also why Atlassian increasingly talks about the system of work rather than separate projects. Jira contributes to the execution data, Confluence contributes to the organizational knowledge, Loom contributes to communication context, Rovo synthesizes and acts across all of that. And in that world, context becomes strategy. Governance becomes critical, as Robert said, and human judgment becomes the most valuable thing.
Oh yeah. There's bottom line, there's going to be no getting away from that human element and that oversight and that understanding. That context, there's no substitute for it. But these tools are going to be bringing all that together and just making our lives better and allowing us to focus on not just what's in front of us today, but what's the next year going to bring? What's the next 5 years going to bring? Where are we going to bring our organization into the future? How are we going to grow? all these questions are going to be answered better with these tools. And so as we move into the last couple of minutes, I think if anyone's got some questions, we would absolutely love to hear them. If you wanted to unmute your mic, you could do so as well, or add something in the chat.
I think we have one here. Uh, uh, oh, have some. Uh, is Atlassian trying to compete directly with things like Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT?
Yeah, I think not exactly.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, Copilot, ChatGPT, tools like Gemini, these are primarily broad AI productivity platforms. What Atlassian appears to be building is something much more nuanced, much more organizationally contextualized. I'd say their strategy is more centered around connected work data, organizational knowledge, um, those workflow relationships, and that organizational and operational context. It's not the AI model itself. It's context is everything. Context is really that glue that's holding it all together. It's that layer that's surrounding the model. And their tools, the Atlassian Intelligence, Rovo, all these become incredibly valuable because you've got that teamwork graph. And with that, all these tools understand all your Jira content, all your Confluence documentation, your service requests, who owns these, the relationships between all these pieces of data, the historical decisions, not just where these pieces of data are now, but how they got there. Um, so I'd say that rather than just relying on just general AI, I don't want to say generic, but just rather than just being like ChatGPT, Atlassian's really building in true intelligence. They're really trying to own an AI enabled system of work. And that system is just going to be what differentiates their tools from standalone tools like Copilot or ChatGPT, like you mentioned.
Yep. This one's fun. Does Valiantys think AI will reduce the importance of Jira admins or Atlassian administrators? Actually, at least for me, I think the opposite is likely true. So the it's not going to be the same, but this role will evolve and become more of an strategic position because as AI becomes more integrated into the enterprise workflows, the organizations will increasingly need experts who understand the governance, the workflow designs, the permissions, the process structure, the integrations, the automation boundaries, the organization, the what they pushed and pushed, the organizational context. Admins, they may spend less time on repetitive configuration tasks and things like that, but it will require way more time on the architecture of the platform, the governance of the AI, the workflow optimizations, the knowledge strategy, and in many ways, it's the importance of the well-structured systems, the the increase in an AI-enabled environment. It's like the Jira admins, they will come out of the orchestra and they will become the maestro, and the AI is the baton that they move the orchestra over.
And the thing is that these AI tools they're not performing the administrative work. They're not building new projects. They're not building out your permission schemes, your notifications. Like they're not building out all the configuration objects. And the other thing is they're working within the governance structures that you put in place. But the
Yeah.
admins are going to be absolutely critical. I would say even more so as we move forward because how many times did we talk about governance throughout this talk? They're going to be the ones putting those governance items into action. They're going to be the ones vetting requests for new apps, new fields, workflow changes. Sometimes putting them in, and look, I'll tell you from my own experience, saying no. Saying no is an art and a skill sometimes that because you know it's easy to take in a lot of requests, but you have to see how those requests will impact others. Um, that's how these tools have been built from day one. That's why certain pieces are sometimes a little confusing in Jira, but that's why certain changes are isolated. Certain pieces, project admins have the ability to change. Sometimes they don't, because all of that governance and all of these configuration items have the ability to touch on others. And the admins are really going to be the ones who understand how it all works together, how it fits, and what could make the difference between an organization that works smoothly and one that's tripping over itself on its own configurations, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
How does
Uh,
it look?
we have there two.
Oh, great.
Okay, so do we think Atlassian's becoming more of a platform company than a tool company?
Huh. That's actually a very that's an interesting question. I would say I don't think that well, I'd say yes. Okay. That it is pretty clear that the direction that they've presented at Team 26 strongly suggests that Atlassian wants to become the connective operational layer for enterprise work. And so if I thought about it, I guess that includes work management, knowledge management, you know, service management, definitely AI coordination, workflow intelligence, and organizational context. So yeah, I would say probably they really are becoming more of a platform company, because this is a much broader vision than individual productivity apps that work in isolation, and that really has been their direction ever since they introduced the cloud platform. And positions Atlassian, I guess, I shouldn't say I guess, it really does position them closer to being an enterprise operating system for work coordination rather than, hey, we've got Jira, we've got Confluence, we've got Bitbucket. Everything, not just their tools, but all the tools they interact with are becoming a unified um, mega ecosystem. But yeah.
Uh, okay, last one. How does governance evolve in an AI native organization? Governance will likely become more dynamic and more important as the Jira admin role. The organizations will increasingly need clarity around the approval authority, AI recommendation boundaries, the data access, the auditing escalation paths, the accountability models. And as the AI systems become more integrated into the operational workflow, the governance can no longer be treated as an afterthought, can't be left behind, and we will check that once every 2 years. It will become foundational. It's the first thing we need to do to be sure that everything that's being implemented will work in the way that we want it to work.
Yeah, don't sleep
Hmm.
on governance. And that's more than just for AI. This was always critical, but now as we move into the future, it's going to be so much more critical. Um, and I'll tell you, if you ever need help, please drop a line, watch one of our videos. Um, we do a regular governance overview webinar. Bonnie Byer does it. I believe she'll continue to do so. She does a fantastic job at conveying how critical it is. And I think that ties directly into this question. Um, and I think it'll tie in directly into all of the work that organizations are going to be doing now and in the future.
Yep.
And I think that does it. I don't think we have any more questions, but
Hmm.
I think we're just about at time right now
Yep.
anyway.
Yep. Hmm.
All right. So thank you everybody for joining. Our next Ask the Experts is scheduled for September 3rd. Same bat time, same bat channel. Topic to be determined at the moment, but we would love to see you we'd love to see you in September.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye everybody.